Gamarjaba memquia effing controller. And I would like to extend my gauntleted hand to you in welcome as I begin my playthrough of Crusader Kings 2, which is a game that I've really wanted to Let's Play for a really long time. And I guess in the time that I've hesitated, there have been lots of other people doing really good Let's Plays of this game. But I'm not going to let that stop me because my main criterion, I guess, for whether or not I should Let's Play a game is whether or not I enjoy it. And I really love this game. So that's good enough reason for me, and if that's not good enough reason for you, you can suck my butt. How about that? And I just have established the overall maturity level for this Let's Play right there. If you're not familiar with Crusader Kings 2, which I'm guessing a couple of you are, it's a, I guess I would describe it as a feudal strategy game, but with a light peppering of role-playing in it. I mean, it's essentially very similar to Paradox's other offerings like Europa Universalis, Victoria, Hearts of Iron, things of that ilk. But it has some role-playing elements in that a lot of the things that happen in the game, a lot of the game itself is really about how your characters interact, or how your character interacts with other characters, the traits that your character has, just the various misadventures that your individual character has, not so much your nation, your geopolitical apparatus extending itself throughout the globe. No, it's about you extending your own personal apparatus wherever it may extend to. And that really kind of is not even, I mean, that's literal, actually. So in any case, having embarrassed myself with that silly recitation of what this game is, I think it's perhaps clear that I'm not exactly an expert. I'm a fan, but not a real devotee of the various little things that make this game tick. But I do have a pretty good working knowledge of it, so I think that'll lead us to situations where I will make the wrong decision, but that is ultimately what kind of makes this game kind of fun. So, with all that out of the way, I'm going to be selecting a kingdom that not a lot of people seem to play as, and it's definitely got Let's Plays of it on YouTube, but I think it's an interesting location to start. I have alluded to it already at the beginning of my Let's Play. Thank you, Wikipedia. And that location, if I can move my mouse, is Georgia, right here. I'm going to play in the Kingdom of Georgia and sit under the pecan tree and drink a mint julep. I don't know very much about Georgia, if in case you couldn't tell. I know that Jimmy Carter is Georgian, and I actually know that I think Stalin was Georgian, and I think Bagration, the Napoleonic general, he was Georgian, and in fact, the dynasty that we'll be playing as is the Bagrationi dynasty. So there you go. It's history. It's living history. It's edutainment, folks. Buckle up. We're on an edutainment adventure. I know also that the national dish, well, there's two big major national dishes of Georgia, according to Wikipedia. One of which is basically, and I'm only going to talk about this one because I love it. It's like a calzone. And it's just cheese and bread, and it's like a grilled cheese calzone kind of affair. And so that's reason enough, folks. I mean, if you want good cuisine, there you go. Georgia also very famous for its cheese and wine. So there you go. We're doing the Old Gods start, getting back on topic to the actual gameplay. And I do, as you can see, have Charlemagne installed. The reason I'm not doing Charlemagne is that, well, if you click it, oh my god, what happened to Georgia? It doesn't exist. Georgia, I did, once again, my friends at Wikipedia tell me that Georgia was actually not strictly a kingdom at this point. It sounds like it was actually a part of Khazaria, but it could have been independent, so that's why it's like that in the game. I have no idea. I'm just glad it's here because I think it's going to be a heck of a lot of fun. I'm also not going to be playing as a custom ruler because part of what makes this particular start interesting is the ruling dynasty that we have, and we'll get to that shortly. And in fact, I think that I've finished introducing this this fun little Let's Play I'm going to have here. So let's go ahead and get started. Splendid! Welcome to Georgia, everybody. Scenic Georgia. We have our king here, King Bagrationi, and Bagrat is terrible. He is awful. His stats are wretched. They are appalling. They're a nightmare. He's a fucking loser, is what I'm trying to say. We're gonna have some problems because of that, but that's okay. That's the name of the game. They should have just called this Medieval Problems with cousin fucking. I don't know. God damn it. I'm already going way too blue, way too early in this. So, God damn it. Alright, so Georgia. Let's talk a little bit about our geopolitical situation here. Let's get serious here. Are we serious? Okay. Khazaria to the north. Khazaria is a huge country, as you can see, but it's kind of a mess. This particular county that I have selected here is named Allen, or it's Alania. Excuse me. The people from Alania are all called Allen, apparently, and it's Orthodox. And then if you go over here, oh my god, they're Tengri. And if you go over here, oh my god, they're Khazars and they're Tengri. And if you go over here, they're Pechenegs and they're Tengris. These guys are Khazars. These guys are, well, a lot of Khazars, actually. I'm surprised. But then if you go over here, they're Khazars and they're Jewish. It's just, this guy's Turkish. It's just a big melting pot. It's a veritable fondue. A fondue, really, for us, because we can take big bites of this territory, possibly. But we'll get to that. With that said, this territory is not good. You can see, like, let's select my home province here. I have a wonderful castle with a little town and a church. And if you go here to Alania, it's got a town and then this amazing, like, Skyrim church. And then if you go to many of the other ones, it's just these little hovels, basically. Now, we have a lot of room to expand in these particular counties, but that is expensive. So, you know, like I say, it's an opportunity for expansion, but expanding into basically empty space. Meanwhile, to the northeast, we have the Hashemids, and they are Muslim, and they're obviously a little bit more developed, but they are probably going to be much, much, much more difficult to take over, especially because one of the great ways of, we're a Christian nation, we're Orthodox. If we wanted to try and take over this particular country, we could say we're going to declare a holy war on them. Problem with holy wars is that they can call in their Muslim neighbors to join them. In this case, the Yazidids. Yazidid or Yazididni, I don't know. So that would be a little bit of a problem because their military would be much bigger than ours in that case. So we'll have to possibly, if we want to look at expanding into these two counties, consider other connivances by which we might obtain that territory. To the south, Armenia, led by Duke Ashat IV. This guy is a fucking idiot. This guy is so stupid. I hate him so much. You'll see what I mean in a little while, because he's going to do some just spectacularly stupid things. But in a way, I kind of don't care too much. The reason is that you might notice that he's a Bagrationi as well. Huh, how about that? I am too. And what's this? Oh, my smoking hot wife is, his sister? Yeah, this guy's my brother-in-law. So that means my son, and her for that matter, kind of have a claim on this. They could kind of connive, like, through skullduggery, we could perhaps come into possession of this entire duchy. It will require a lot of killing people, especially people who are related to us, and that's not necessarily a good thing. But we'll have to consider that. It's an option. All right, and then to the south we have these Muslim states. They're kind of a patchwork, but beyond that is this monstrosity, the Abbasid Caliphate, I think. Isn't it a caliphate? Yeah. And it is ferocious and terrifying, and it's got big, nasty, pointy teeth. We don't want to tangle with them. I believe that the Holy War, Casus Belli, allows only neighboring rulers to join in. So if we were, for instance, to get a wild hair and somehow get to a point where we could... Oh, actually, yeah. If we did get to the point where we could declare war on the Yazidids, then these guys could join, and that would be a horrible time. And then, meanwhile, we have the Byzantine Empire to the southwest. I guess they're kind of a big deal. So that's fun. We probably will not be doing too much with them. I kind of try to steer clear of them. I haven't done like any full playthroughs as Georgia, but I have kind of done some test runs just to see how things kind of work at a very basic level. And the Byzantines kind of seem happy to leave well enough alone with us, and I'm happy with that situation too, because like I said, they're big and terrifying, and I don't really want to deal with two big empires here. So with all of that out of the way, let's go ahead and get to talking Turkey. I think everybody who plays Crusader Kings 2 kind of has a basic routine that they go through when they start a game. And King Bagrat here, you want to look at his stats and see if there's any way of improving them. This learning stat is the most egregiously low. Learning is not important. And I say that to all of the young children out there in particular. Don't worry about learning. You need to worry about these other four things: diplomacy, martial, stewardship, and intrigue. And in our particular case, because of what I have in mind for our neighbors to the south, intrigue seems like the way to go. Now, I do have the Way of Life DLC installed, and the way that it used to work in Crusader Kings 2 is that if we had a character like this with god-awful stats, we could pick an ambition to improve one of those stats, and through more or less random events, we would have the opportunity to do so. They've done away with that through like a $7 DLC, which I'll just leave it at that. You can, it's a better system, admittedly, but you do have to pay $7 for it or whatever. But is it 7? I have no idea. I could just be slandering them based on erroneous information. But that's what I do, I guess. It's kind of how I operate. You can pick these focuses, these foci, if you will, or fuck-eye, whatever you like. And you can just say, I want to improve my intrigue. And I would love to do that. So that will automatically boost my intrigue by 3, and then I get some events later on that might increase my intrigue later, permanently. So there you go. I'm gonna do that. And then I can pick an ambition. I don't really care to have any more children because my kingdom has a form of inheritance called Gavelkind, meaning that all of my male heirs, I actually said the word error instead of heir. Well, it would be an error to have more heirs because under Gavelkind you split your titles equally amongst all of the sons, more or less equally. So it's good, really, in a way, to have just one son. Now you're also vulnerable to having huge, horrible dynastic crises if you only have one son, and you could also lose the game. But I'm gonna chance it. I mean, I could try to have a daughter, but it's not really up to me. Why not? My wife's a babe. It's all right. So, anyways, God, what a horrible time to be alive. Let's see. The next thing I think a lot of people will do is they'll look over their council, which is pretty mediocre as it tends to be. This guy sucks. I wonder if there's anybody that's better. No. So, well, this guy's deceitful, though. I have a plate that keeps getting hit by my cable for my headphones. It might be prudent, actually, to pick a different chancellor, even though, or steward, whatever. Because this guy is deceitful, and he might try to play fuck with me, and I'm not interested in that. I'm gonna go with that. He might try to take money from me, is basically what I'm getting at. So let's get down to this. I want to have you fabricate claims over here, and that's for the reason I mentioned before. I don't want to deal with a holy war. He could call in allies that he has through marriage and things like that if I fabricate a claim and press it. But if it's a holy war, he can just get basically everybody to curb stomp me, and it would be ugly. Let's go back to the council. And my marshal, this is pretty common to have him train troops in the home province. I'm going to have you collect taxes. You're probably going to get beaten up by peasants, but that's okay. And let's see, I think I want to actually have you, my half-brother. Interesting. I may not want to have him be my spy master, because he's probably got a claim on my seat. On my throne, not my seat. That's not up for grabs. I'm going to actually, considering you don't want to have somebody who has high intrigue and has a possible claim on your throne to be your spy master. I think that this is a prudent step. I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to have him build a spy network, and I'm going to have him just fuck around in the capital territory of Dwin down in Armenia here. He might get caught. I don't know if I care. The Patriarch. You will research cultural tech. Now, the Patriarch brings me to another point that's a little bit further down this line than I really wanted to go, but in Orthodoxy, as well as any of the other Eastern Christian religions, they practice what's called autocephaly. And it's kind of a confusing system in a way, but it's also sort of simple. Basically, in Catholicism, you have the Pope, and he's the head of the church, and that's it. You can see that Ignatios here is the ecumenical patriarch, but in areas that are not covered by one of these pentarchs here, or by this, the pentarch, really, of Constantinople, the head of the king, the church, basically, of that kingdom is the patriarch. And I don't know if that... Well, okay, let's look up here, actually. This is a good example. Here up in Alania, you can see that they're part of the ecumenical patriarchate. They have this guy as their head of the church. However, they don't have a Orthodox head of church, I believe. So all of their Orthodox people, I guess, report to him. But since I'm a king of Georgia and I have my own patriarch, everybody reports to me. I may not have explained that very well. It's not really that important. But actually, one important thing about it is that I think I can excommunicate people much more easily. So that's fun stuff. Laws. Who needs them? I think that I want to increase my crown authority, but I'm going to let things simmer for a little bit because this is liable to make some people a smidge upset with me. So I'm going to let the game kind of settle because at the start of the game, things can get a little bit cattywampus. So I'm going to hold off on that. And you can see this is my half-brother who I demoted from being spy master. He has a claim on my throne, so I don't feel like that's a good idea to have him around. This is our tech screen. We don't really have anything to do with that. Nothing really too fantastically interesting in the military screen. We can choose a plot. We could try to kill our wife, which is not very nice. This guy is the heir to the Duchy of Armenia, though, and he is actually a tempting target. Good recommendation, game. I'm going to go ahead and choose a plot to go ahead and try to kill this guy. So the way that it used to work, again, in Crusader Kings 2 is you just had to come up with a lot of money to kill someone. Now they have it so you actually have to organize a plot. And I'm going to start that plot. I can't seem to get anybody on my side right off the bat, but you can see how there's a few guys with portraits with little hands, like little things from Adam's family. If you pay them money, they will join your plot. So the thing is that we probably don't have enough money to buy off all these guys. There's a lot of people who want that guy dead. He's probably an asshole. So I'm going to let that sit as well. I just want to have that on the back burner, I guess. Wow, I've been talking for about 18 minutes and I haven't even started the game. That's amazing. It does take a little bit of time to get things going. So I think that we are actually ready to start the game. So let's do exactly that. Now I'm going to try, you can see that there's this little speed indicator here. I'm going to try to keep that at no higher than 4 and preferably at 3. Because I think that rushing through this game, I mean there's points when there's just nothing happening, such as now. But you don't want to really... I find that I have to sometimes kind of breeze through things, but generally speaking, it's good to kind of take your time and be methodical in your decision making, because otherwise you'll do colossally stupid things. Even with that in mind, I probably will do some amazing, terrible things, but that's just me. So far, nothing too exciting. The problem with what I did with the plot is that it's entirely possible that some of these guys are not going to be on board now. This is his mom. And apparently the Shia Muslims have risen up. The schism at the heart of Islam dates back to its earliest days. The majority Sunnis have long persecuted the followers of Ali, the Shias forcing them into hiding. The partisans of Ali look to his descendants for leadership, but they are forced to keep their ancestry secret. Now, though, the Shias are mobilizing their strength behind a boy whom they claim to be Ali's rightful heir and imam. Other Islamic jurists claim that the boy is clearly a fraud. But to his followers, he is the person they have been waiting for, and now they flock to his banner. This guy is claiming to be him, I guess. And this is the... Yeah, this is that trait, basically reflected there. This is the guy that actually runs this huge, horrible country here. So that's fun. And I'm waiting for Armenia to do its predictably stupid things. Oh, has it already done it? Nope, that is a retinue, actually. Interesting. Can I raise a retinue? I don't think I can. I can raise a small retinue, but there you go. This is what I'm talking about. So since we're related to this idiot, Ashot here has declared war on Emir Abul Ward, not to be confused with Montgomery Ward, of the Kaysite Emirate, which I think is over here, yeah. So he can actually bring in these two dudes, at least, yeah, into his war. So we're probably, even though this looks like a smaller country, they will probably be able to raise far more levies than us due to some idiosyncrasies with how raising levies works in this game that I kind of don't understand right now for some reason. It's because Muslims, I think, get a benefit or a bonus of some kind to raising troops, and I don't remember how that bonus works. I'm drawing a blank right now. But since I really don't even care if he succeeds, and I can take the prestige hit, I'm just going to decline, because he's going to lose that, and it wouldn't matter if I joined him. It really wouldn't. It's just a terrible, terrible idea. Although, things are just getting interesting in our neighborhood, it looks like. These guys have a revolt going, which means that I could possibly get away with declaring a holy war on him. Comb over McGee here. He's now actually requested another call to arms because Emir Abul Ward and Emir Abul Hussein of the Mustache Emirate have declared the Holy War for Mesopotamia and the Mustache Rid Holy War for Mesopotamia. He has gotten himself into multiple conflicts. He is a big dumb idiot, like I said. Basically, proving my point entirely. So he's defending in this one, and he is attacking in this one. I'm going to go ahead and accept, I guess, because we would lose a lot of prestige if we didn't. But I'm not going to do anything. Just because you accept a call to arms doesn't mean you have to do anything. It's kind of nice. It does inconvenience us a little bit, because what will probably happen is he will probably lose territory that I would like to have later, but we'll worry about that later on. I have no idea where his armies are. They're probably all dead. Fun times! Just taking a look at Europe generally. Not too much happening right now, it looks like. You can zoom in and see if there's any sieges happening, I guess. Looks like there's some tawdry business happening in Sussex. Yep. Nothing too exciting, that's fine. Oh, I have the game paused. that would explain that, and that's probably why I didn't know where his troops were. Now, he has gotten into a little bit of a scrape with them, and he is losing even though he outnumbered them. Probably because he's garbage. I'm just going to venture a guess. Now, I could maybe raise my troops. Let's see how many troops I get. Oh, my wife is pregnant. Awesome. About 2,900, which is a respectable number. Maybe I could have helped. I don't know. We'll see. The thing is that these guys are going to run roughshod through here. And as they siege more, they will lose troops. So I might be able to raise an army that could challenge them, but I'm not totally sure about that. He's moving in here to siege this territory. He's a brave, brave man. He's braver than me. What can I say? Yeah, and actually he's going to get killed. And who is this fine gentleman with the straw-like beard? Adarnase Gurgens. He is... What is his relation to me? He's my great-nephew, and he's not really that great at all. His stats are pure shit. And my brother-in-law is getting slaughtered. Good work. Let's take a look at the situation at home, too. You can see that we have this large duchy to the west. It's run by, yeah, looks like this guy, Dmitry of Abkhazia. He probably would like to challenge me at some point, because I have 2 counties, he has 3, he might be able to usurp my throne. So we have to watch for that. Keep tabs on this guy. In fact, since we have the... Yeah, we have the intrigue ambition, so I can actually spy on him. So that might be kind of zesty, but... And again, in my refusal to help my brother-in-law, he's getting his ass kicked. Now I could maybe raise my military and be of some service here. Although it looks like they're in a fight with the Byzantines now. And now I have another son, which kind of blows, but that's okay. You can see it says title loss and succession. That means that I'm gonna lose this county to my second son. My first son, who I will play as after I die, will have this county still. Meanwhile, I'm not feeling so good. It's probably karma. The problem, I guess, with this start is that a lot of it relies on some patience. You have to take your time. A young artist is working on what is clearly a divinely inspired icon depicting John the Baptist. He needs sponsorship to finish it so we can place it in our own chapel. I can gain learning or lose piety. It's not all that much money. Our learning is terrible. Learning is not a very important stat, but I'm going to go ahead and do it because, I don't know. I'm a patron of the arts, what could I say? No, I feel much better. That's fantastic. I would really prefer not to die just yet because my kid is only 14 and oh, that reminds me, he's only 14, he can't get married, but I can arrange to have him betrothed to someone. So the game, if you click on this, will give you like a list of like strategic marriages that it thinks are really great. It's usually wrong. These are not good people to get betrothed to oftentimes. You can get alliances with some of these folks, but like for instance, this lady is, or this 15-year-old girl is the Princess of Italy, and Italy is not really a helpful ally for us. This lady might be more helpful, I guess, but she's 3, so we're not gonna bother with that. We're gonna actually find ourselves a wife, a smoking hot, total babe. Actually, I'm looking for, frankly, a nerd. Because I want to possibly, if I can, get a genius, but I'll settle. I don't want her to be in prison, because I don't want her to be just my pen pal. Unless I can dip my pen into her inkwell. Forsooth, verily, not married. That would be quite the juicy scandal. I don't care if she's a ruler, that is unlikely, but I would prefer my religion. That makes things a little bit easier. And I'm looking for a gal with, it can be either an adult or not. I'm looking for a gal that has a stat like genius or quick, basically. And the way that you can typically find that is by sorting on some of these fun little stats. And unfortunately, it looks like I don't have anybody who's in my religion that is a genius. We're all pretty dumb. Probably what happened was that all the geniuses and quick people and beautiful people and strong people and such got snatched up right at the start of the game. So that happens. Well, I could expand it to my religion group. That would include Catholics and Miaphysites, I think, and some of the other... Oh, this gal's an historian, apparently. Some of the other kind of different... Well, I guess they would be heresies, wouldn't they? In this day and age. Saddlebags. she is not a good prospect. Oh, and this gal over here is quick. She's a Visigoth. She's over in Spain then, probably. That's pretty distant. Oh, she's Armenian. And she's a master seductress. She's a mistress seductress. And I like the sound of this. Alright. Who is she? Is she like my cousin or something? That would be horrible. Okay, good. Alright, so Prince David here is going to be betrothed to her. She's not anybody in particular, so he's going to lose prestige, but we just want to blast out some excellent children. So that's how that's going to work. Cool. So he's going to have a wife when he comes of age. So things are looking pretty good for us here in the Kingdom of Georgia. Just getting started. My brother-in-law is getting very, very badly beaten up. But it looks like the Byzantines are intervening, so he's one lucky son of a bitch. I might actually try to steal some of his thunder here. And see what my military looks like when it's fully unfurled. It's going to take a while for everybody to get up to Tau. Or whatever. Is it Teo? Deo! Deo! I apologize. I am so sorry. I'm known as Ironside. So I do a lot of ab workout at the gym. That's why. Yeah, so my steward apparently pissed off the peasants, as I predicted he would. My beloved half-brother Adarnasi is concerned that he's still not married. He probably was married. Wasn't he? But how does he have 2 kids? I don't even want to know. I will find him somebody nice. And for this guy, I really just don't give a flying fart who he marries. Somebody who's not going to present a threat, basically, because this guy is possibly going to be a nuisance. So, how about you marry her? Oh, I should have right-clicked her. That's fine. Let's try that again. Come on. Let's go on down here. Where was she? There she is. He's gonna lose prestige. She is kind of okay. Whatever. That's fine. And I'm gonna merge these armies. I'm apparently leading some of the army. That's interesting. Can I actually get there quicker through there? I can. Alright, I'm gonna ride to the rescue, save the day, and get my brother married and save my brother-in-law. Really, it's the Byzantines that saved him, but I can take some credit. I might get some help with the war score here, the contribution. Rather than being a player hater, I will be a player participator. And I'm getting attrition because of the supply limit. And there we go. We're in combat, and we're hopefully not gonna die, and we're doing okay. We have flanked them. This guy wants to get married as well. What? Well, we got kind of a bloody nose out of that, but we did pretty much beat the shit out of him. Where are you going? You're going to Edessa. Best of luck with that. I'm going to follow you. Now you can see that the war score immediately changed because we served them a crushing defeat. And he's going to really love me after this. He's not going to expect that I'm out to kill him in his sleep. And his kids. So I've completely obliterated their army. I could help him besiege these territories. I'm not feeling that generous. I'm going to go ahead and peace out. Alright. Well, I helped. It's like the secret to comedy. I've said this many times, but you know what the secret to comedy is? Timing. Alright, so we're gonna go back to our domain and disband our troops. And that'll be that. Good deal. And I want to look at my retinues, because I don't think I can actually raise one yet. I need to increase my majesty or something, don't I? It's something, some wacky stat. Some technological nonsense. Oh, I guess I could have besieged this. Done him a solid. Is this his... Yeah, this is him as the offensive dude. The attacker. My strategic knowledge is boundless. The guy who wants to hurt us. The bad man. God damn it. Georgia, looking pretty good. Let's see how that plot is coming along, because I'm getting more money. I make an okay amount of cash here, but it's not really all that impressive. That would help to make more. It's good to make more money, folks. Let's see if there's anybody who's interested. Anybody? There's some people who I could bribe to do this, and I'm at the point where I could possibly afford it. So let's take a look at their relative plot power. Stefanos Vehov is a master schemer with 16% plot power, and if I send him a gift of 20 gold, it will help enormously in our efforts. So I'm going to pause the game real quick, and I'm going to go ahead and give him a little RSVP. And how about Artashir? So that's 30. Again, I think this is the guy's mom, right? Oh, she married him, and she's a problem, though. Because if they have any kids, her kids get the claim. Now, that's probably why she's interested. But if I send her a little bribey-wibey and invite her, and if I invite you, there we go, and maybe one more. Now, so you have to be careful when you go through this, because sometimes they won't ask for 20. It's based on their stats. Like, this guy wants 55.8 gold because he has traits like just. Is probably what's doing that. And probably honest. So there you go. And let's take a look at that plot score increase. 75.8. Any other takers? Come on. 89.3. 120.1. So once you get past 100, there's a random chance that it'll happen. I think it's everything after 100. Maybe it's that percentage per year. I don't know. Somebody out there will probably explain it to me and make me feel dumb. By all means, feel free to explain some gameplay systems, but please do not be surprised if I don't retain any of that information. He can get married now. I would love that. I'm so happy for him. Get married to this babe, and it's going to be a great time. Now you have the option of collecting money or prestige. I'm almost actually leaning towards the money, because that's not a whole lot of money, but it's a good amount, and maybe I could bribe some more people with that. And this fellow has died, it looks like. Yes, Duke Dmitri has been succeeded by Duke Bagrat. That's very confusing. I'm King Bagrat, and I'm going to appoint, well, his son, I guess, will do. Have him fabricate claims over yonder. There we are. Excellent, good. Not exactly a brisk start, but, you know, we're learning together. We're having fun together. Byzantines are having a revolt. The Abbasids are still having a revolt. You know, one thing I should have been looking for, too, is for the Khazars to have a revolt. Because even though I've kind of maligned these provinces, they do still provide some tax to us. So it's not like it's a total waste to conquer these. And indeed, like I said, if you conquer them and later on you expand them, they become kind of worthwhile. So I guess. I don't know. I can't say that with any real certainty. They might. It might cost a prohibitive amount of money to do that, but... Alright, anywho. He's sieging his province back. Good for him. Is that guy? No, he's not from the mustache. The Yazadids. I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. Where are the mustache guys? Oh, they're over here. Well, with these provinces having been weakened, it's kind of tempting. Oh, these haven't been. I'm looking at these levies here. Oh, well, they're screwed. You know what? I think I'm going to go ahead. Get on this. Oh, I have to declare war on you, of course. So I could, let's take a look at these real quick. I could declare a holy war. I could declare a de jure war for this particular slice of land because it's a part of my duchy, I believe. And the same for this little piece, but I want the whole pizza. I want the whole, I can't remember, it's khachapuri. That's what it's called. The whole Georgian calzone grilled cheese deliciousness. So, I think I'm going to do that, but I think I'm going to let that sit for another time because I've been playing for a little bit, and you know, it's a theatrical method. It's called a cliffhanger. I don't do them ever, so I think I'm going to go ahead and enlist that wonderful device and leave you hanging, as they say. So look forward to that in the next episode. See what kind of war I declare. Until then.